Shall we begin?
Welcome to the Happy MonsterCast. I'm your host, Scott Marchand Davis of Happy Monster Press.
Let's begin now.
This week on the Happy MonsterCast, the Misfits throw down underground to protect the town of Almarine. This podcast contains adult language and adult situations. Previously on the Happy MonsterCast, a band of misfits has joined in an effort to break the power of the big boys over the Holler, including preacher Piety Jackson, gouger Karl son of Karl, mountain magician Buck Grayson, bootleg distiller Booker Noe, and itinerant crooner Old Blue. Divination has revealed a danger to the town of Almarine underground in a large sinkhole. Who will brave the terror of the depths to protect the townsfolk? All right, so let's recap. You folks have been investigating the swallowing ground in the Cussfoot Fens. Supposedly, the ground here is hallowed. It keeps the loved ones you bury there, keeps them peaceful.
Keeps them dead?
Keeps them dead, keeps them in the ground where they belong.
Okay.
But there's also this sinkhole that's been causing all kinds of trouble. And last time you did a little haruspicy and you had a vision. And in your vision, you saw the swallowing ground erupting, spewing demons into the air and raining them down on the poor folks of Almarine, the town you're visiting, as well as shadowy figures burying bodies in the sinkhole.
Right. Those guys were weird.
The seers think that the only way to sort this out is going to be to jump in the hole.
That sounds like a terrible idea.
Regardless, you decided to head over to the hole and see what's going on.
Ah!
And so as you arrive, there's a burp, a glub-boom, glub-boom,
I should look into the hole.
a scrooge, burp, and airborne. A large potato rockets forth from the mud hole, arcs past your heads, and sticks halfway into the slightly less gushy muck behind you.
I'm sorry, a what comes out of the sinkhole?
A large potato.
Potato.
Two Almarine fellows stand on the other side of the sinkhole, judging the flights of the objects as they spew forth. That one got right high. Bet the next one beats it. A trowel, maybe, encased in mud is the next ejectee, flying straight up for 20 feet and then falling directly back into the hole. He'll do better next time, one of the men says, a little disappointed. Burp, glub-bum, glub-bum, scope, burp. A length of chain comes flying out, narrowly missing Booker's head. Then a cantaloupe goes flying off to the left. A butter churn.
What's throwing the stuff out of the sinkhole? What's going on?
A rocking chair. A ringer washer. Lord, you better take cover, shouts one of the men. Burp, glub-bum, glub-bum, squelch, bloop, burp. Taking cover doesn't sound like too bad an idea, but on the other hand, you need to figure out what's going on in that hole.
But do we?
A rocking chair sails relatively close to Piety.
A rocking chair.
Yes. Well, you're not entirely sure whether it's an occult phenomenon or a natural phenomenon. It's not clear. What is clear is that more and more interesting things are coming out of the hole. I would like you all to make an agility roll at -1 to avoid the large hog that just blasted out of the sinkhole.
A hog. Jeez.
-2.
-2.
Yep.
Ugh.
All right. Well, Piety's fine. Old Blue, you might get hit by a hog.
Okay, wait.
Can I go ahead? I'm going to Benny that.
Oh, look at that.
Buck, you're also a potential hog victim, as is Karl. Oh, Old Blue's banging like crazy.
Oops. I think I meant to do it once.
Karl dodges the hog.
Holy cow, why is it so hard to roll?
I don't see the result of my Benny.
You got a 4.
Okay.
Am I rolling at all? I keep clicking on this thing.
Yeah, you are.
Did I roll anything yet?
Actually, no, Booker, you haven't for whatever reason. Let me roll for you.
Oh,
here.
I think I'm okay though.
You are okay.
Which is
all right. So the only
surprising.
person who's possibly going to get hit here is Buck. Still going to get hit.
Oof.
Going to take the hit. So a hog flies into you. And you are shaken by this flying hog. It kind of knocks you into the muck. The gurgling, the soggy ground starts shaking and slurping more violently.
No, my goodness.
An entire twin-sized bed shoots out of the hole in the opposite direction of you. A shovel flies out. What would you guys like to do? Or are we?
Yeah, I'm seeing black also.
Black.
Let's globally illuminate here.
Better.
Oh no, I remember that song.
It's getting more and more violent.
Do I need?
Do you want to check out? Do you want to jump in the hole?
No.
I would like to back off from the hole.
Oh no. You guys go right on ahead, you young folk.
Might be outvoted. If there's trouble down there, you're sending Karl in alone.
Yeah, I'm all right with that.
And yet, I'm not going down in there.
All right. Buck, you jumping in the hole or not?
Yes? Oh.
All right. Well, Piety and Karl are jumping in, so. Hey, how'd you guys do? All right, so you are arcane protected and you are deflected. Let me set those up. So Piety targeting Karl. If this thing is working, it isn't. So we will say, all right, so you have deflection and Piety has arcane protection, and the two of you jump in the hole. More like a glorp. There's a loud glorp as you're sucked down into the hole.
I just yelled down in the hole. Are you guys okay?
Oh boy.
So you emerge underground, covered in sludge, in a cavernous opening filled with junk from Almarine, dead bodies, and demons writhing in piles of black slop.
That's horrible.
The air itself seems to be convulsing, and the walls of the air pocket seem to be expanding and contracting. There are 4 piles of partially incoherent, sloughing demons. And one pile, as you're watching, splits into 2 demons, one seeming to be composed of fire and one of wood and leaves. And that will put us into combat.
I told you guys no.
Perfectly reasonable expectation. And Piety, you're up first, followed by the swarm and the forest demon, then Karl and the fire demon. Unless Karl wants to spend a penny to get a better card. There's 2 demons plus 4 demon piles, and currently you have 3 bennies. So before you start, we need to see if Karl's going to spend a penny. It did, but it didn't improve your position in the order any. All right, Piety, you're up first. 2 demons pretty close to you and a bunch of demon swarms nearby. Short answer? No. That would be the banish power, which you could acquire potentially, although whether it actually works on these demons is an open question. You are now. Well, technically it will damage Karl. So the question is, yeah, you can't cast it on more people. It won't damage Karl unless he ends his turn adjacent to you, though. Well, in that case, you could make a roll to see what you know about this particular variety of demon. That would be an occult roll. No. That is not an action. Oh, very nice. So you've heard quite a bit. You've heard quite a bit about these sorts of demons. So the fire demon, you've heard from those who've encountered them that they are bringers of fire and poisoners of land and water. That they can touch you and set you afire, and that they can breathe fire as well. And since they are terrifying, I need you and Karl both to make fear checks at -2. Yes. And that's not great. Karl, on the other hand, is unfazed because they look punchable. Still fear. Let's see what happens. Benny, there. Okay, yeah, no problem there. Good thing too, or you would have required a major phobia of some kind. All right, so you are no longer afraid, or you're coping with the terror. The forest demon, on the other hand, you can see is floating, and it is capable of entangling its opponents as well as clawing at them with its branches. Yeah, he just needs to move away from you on his turn. That's not going to be a big deal. All right, that succeeds. So you now have a damage field up. The swarms come rolling in at you, 2 apiece. And the demons they consist of are biting and clawing at you. At the end of their turn. And they are also automatically causing you 2d4 damage apiece. So first swarm on Karl. Ooh, nasty. Does 10, which is enough to shake Karl. Second swarm on Karl. Does nothing. First swarm on Piety. Does nothing. Second swarm on Piety. Also does nothing. The forest demon rolls up to Piety. What is your damage field? Is it like holy flame? What are these guys throwing down on you? Actually, he doesn't have to get that close. Well, that's because it's up to you to specify. Okay, so a coruscating sheet of lightning surrounds you with the power of the Lord. Yes.
Oh man.
All right. It shoots branches out at you a la Groot and attempts to entangle you. You need to make an athletics roll and beat a 5 in order to avoid being entangled, which you do not. Oh, yes, you duck out of the way of the branches. Okay, Karl, first things first, you need to unshake. Oh, yes, and the swarms take damage since they are all adjacent to you. All right, so that That's going to toast the first swarm. Second swarm's unaffected. Third swarm's unaffected. Fourth swarm's unaffected. You got one. Yeah. So, Karl, you need to unshake, which you do. Which demon would you like? Who would you like to punch? No, he actually can reach out from a distance and grab you with his branches. Like I said, a la Groot. Oh, you wouldn't be set on fire by punching him, but he would set you on fire if he punches you, which he might come over and do anyway. All right, I assume you're punching him in the head. He does have a face. And one of those will hit. Go ahead and give me damage +4. That will shake him unless you want to Benny it and see if you can do better. Although I should correct something. You are not currently boosted to have a D12 strength. I'm going to drop that back down to D10 where it belongs. Okay, yes. Go ahead and Benny it. It did, and that was a 12. So you punch the fiery skull clean off this thing and only blister your knuckles. New round. Karl draws a joker.
Wait, could I have thrown havoc down there or no?
You have no idea what's going on.
Okay.
That was your damage, I think. You need to make a probably just a misclick. Ow. Oh, that's gonna sting some. One hit with a raise. Well, you can start with the raise damage on the first one. +4. So you have shaken him with the first hit. And then give me regular damage +4. Oh, yeah. Do raise damage +4. Well, the 13, nevertheless, is enough that you punch his head off. So you deliver a 1-2 combo and just lay this demon out. Okay, Piety. You've got 3 demon swarms around you. It is. So if they end their turn adjacent to you, then they will take further damage. Okay, so they are swarms, which means they're, I'm going to say a shotgun is going to do regular damage on a swarm. So go ahead and shoot the thing. That will hit. And you splat the swarm. All right, so one swarm cruises over to engage with Karl, and the other one continues to attack you. Swarm on pot. No, it doesn't actually leave melee of you. All right, so the one on you manages to shake you, and the one on Karl does absolutely nothing, and then they both take damage, although not on the first case enough to do anything, or on the second. New round. Karl draws another Joker. All right, so you cannot punch a swarm. What you can do is stomp it. So if you're just stomping it, since it's on you anyway, you just roll strength for damage. So in your case, just roll a d10 for damage plus 2 because of the Joker. D10 plus 2. That's what damage you'll do by stomping these guys. I definitely think you should be nicknamed Demon Puncher after this. And the plus 2 is because of the Joker, by the way. Oh, very nice. So with a 10, you have shaken the swarm. And so the swarm's going to have to unshake. It's quite good at that, though. Yeah, because there's a lot of them there. It just barely manages to unshake and continue to bite you for no damage. On the other hand, Piety is going to take a wound there. Would you like to soak it? You're fine. Everything is fine. Just make sure you spend your penny. Okay, your lightning blast almost, but not quite, cooks one of them. That does nothing on the other one. And it is your turn. On the shaken swarm. That hits with a raise. Give me raise damage. I have a bad feeling for this swarm. Yeah, that swarm is just shredded by your shotgun. New round. The swarm draws a Joker. So it's going to stick with, the lightning thing is a little scary. So it's going to cruise over here, and I will allow you to stomp it as it goes by. So go ahead and give me, I got to unshake for it though. No, I need it to unshake. Which it does. Basically, if it doesn't draw if it doesn't roll a one, it's going to unshake. So go ahead and give me what's your strength? Give me a D6 as it goes by, which does nothing. And so it's going to bite Karl. Somewhat effectively. That's just enough to shake you. Piety. That will miss. Bennett? Raise hit. And you shred it.
Wow. Hey, how you guys doing down there?
Glad I was there to help.
So the good news is the convulsions of the walls cease. The bad news is the walls destabilize and start to fill in.
Uh-oh.
All right, I would like you both to make strength rolls as you claw your way back up. All right, so you manage to claw your way back up and escape back out as the hole kind of glubs up and becomes a slightly more solid, more like the swampy area you're standing in now. So the locals who are taking shelter are like, y'all are the bravest folk I ever saw. Y'all ought to come to we're going to throw you a real fine party tonight. So they throw you a nice hoedown with some sweet moonshine, and you each get an owl talisman from the town.
Ooh.
This is a hoot owl talisman that gives you a +1 in toughness against swarms. And just as an aside, you definitely were better off jumping in. If you hadn't, the whole thing would have erupted. Demons would have fallen all over the town. Twelve of the villagers would have been killed by the mud and demons landing in the area. More demons would have attacked, which, by the way, if you hadn't finished them off in 5 rounds, this still would have happened, and you guys would have been ejected as well.
Wow, it sure is a good thing you guys jumped in there. Well done.
So that is where
Maybe.
we're going to leave it for
You can
this
follow
week.
Happy Monster Press on Facebook as Happy Monster Press, at our website, happymonsterpress.com, Twitter as Happy Monster PRS, or follow this podcast on YouTube, Stitcher Radio, Spotify, iTunes, or Google Play Music. Like what you hear? Support us on Ko-fi at ko.fi.com/happymonsterpress. Happy MonsterCast is part of the Savage Worlds Media Network. This game references the Savage Worlds game system available from Pinnacle Entertainment Group at www.peginc.com. It is unofficial media content permitted under the Media Network Content Agreement. This content is not managed, approved, or endorsed by Pinnacle Entertainment Group. Certain portions of the materials used are the intellectual property of Pinnacle, and all rights are reserved. Savage Worlds, all related settings and unique characters, locations, and characters' logos and trademarks are copyrights of Pinnacle Entertainment Group. All other content is the intellectual property of Happy Monster Press. Music, Ice Cold by Jason Shaw.
And Lobo Loco's Spencer from the Free Music Archive.
Oh, for sure.